Hi everyone. Today is part 4 of the GitHub Spec Kit on real life project workshop, and we are gonna work with a real life implementation. But firstly, we will check the analyze step. So I will show the previous analyze step where it's shown like a number of issues. I have spent some time to work on each issue, and this is a very, I would think it's a mandatory step to check all of that. The more time you will spend here, the less time you will spend on bug tracking and compile issues. This is, I would say, in a GitHub Spec Kit, it says that you need only 4 mandatory steps and several optional, but I would say that this analyze step is a very, very mandatory step because it's highlighted like dozens of issues. Several of them were really needed my attention. I've used the command called specify clarify, where I've started to explaining those issues with some kind of resolution, or explaining to AI how it should be resolved. And it started to clarify questions for me again, just like on specification step and or on a planning step, which is really great. Then it's very easier to describe this in this way. So basically just select options. And one of the issues in this case was the constitution break, which is normally shouldn't happen, but in my case it was set in constitution that everything works only sequentially, and the core of this feature is to implement parallel execution for UI tests analyzer. That is why in this specific case it's okay to change the constitution, which I really done. And what else? Again, clarifying questions, answering the questions, and voila, in the end it's everything is implementation ready and all of the question is resolved. 100% of issues is resolved. So after clarifying all of the issues, I've run the Spec Kit analyze one more time, and here is the result. It made sure that everything is really to do. So at this moment I could run the implement. But I will show another one each feature. While previous parts I've shown this Copilot implementation using the Copilot, but why not to use another tool like Claude, for example, Claude Code. It's an amazing tool, by the way. Do it have the implement feature? Do it have specify? No, it don't. Well, let's initialize it for here. Specify CLI is already installed, so we can just run specify in it in the current project. AI will be Claude. I want to continue. It will be Bash because this is a macOS, and boom. And now Spec Kit will be in Claude as well. It should. Maybe we need to. Okay, here it is. So now we can run implement Spec Kit implement go. So this is a really cool feature for GitHub Spec Kit because it's not tied to one AI. you can run it everywhere because this is a very general instructions, and it's basically there in uh, markdown files, so you can use any AI you like. It has, and you can use it even for different steps, which is great. That's it's like these markdown files are also a memory bank. I mean, in order just to have the memory bank on your project, there are like a whole huge projects which trying to support that. So that the one memory bank existed for in order you to have an ability to work with different AI models and not to be tied to some AI model or some AI agent, like Project Archon, for example. You can check it out. But this problem, it doesn't exist anymore for if you're using GitHub Spec Kit. You can switch really dynamically, but it's better, of course, to finish each step. If you started one step, to finish this step in that AI agent you've started, of course. So it's alive. From right now, it works basically without me, and I'm just checking out what's going on. These files are created by specify CLI for the Claude to support the specify commands inside the agent. So I think I will edit them to the git ignore, I think by hands. And other files are something which is happening right now. This, by the way, this spec was changed why I was clarifying on analyze step, as well as this plan, as well as these tasks. So I reviewed them before this video to be sure that it's fully proper. These commands, we don't need them on the Git, so I think we could add them to git ignore. Spec5 ./GitHub, this is a copilot, I guess. Spec5 don't need that as well. In a git, boom. By the way, at the moment, we are working not with Sonnet. This is something I don't like, that in a Claude Code I can't select a model while it's working or checking out the commands. It needs to stop or finish, or I need to force stop it, because it's probably that I'm currently using Haiku for .5 instead of Sonnet for .5. The tasks are relatively complex, so I would rather prefer Sonnet this time, despite the fact that the Anthropic says that Haiku should be really good. I would prefer Sonnet. But what are the spells from Harry Potter? Because what it looks like and feels like I've made some spell and things happens right now by their own. And of course we can what's our job right now is to recheck each of the changes and to commit it. I think that we shouldn't commit that we shouldn't the AI agent to commit. I think that it's our main responsibility to check the quality and if it's going into the direction we've chose. So we should check each change, especially if it's some kind of an enterprise project. We need to change basically each change and commit it by our hands. It's already created several files. Why it's not shown in the... Okay, it shows. I will do one by one. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's good. This is basically a DTOs. It's crafting. I think, by the way, several weeks ago, there is a possibility to check the usage of your Claude Code, how much tokens it left for this specific session. I've started session several hours ago and used not too much. While it's working, you see this percentage will become bigger. This is what is my limits per this week, and it will be reset tomorrow. So I have more than enough of tokens to use today and tomorrow to work on this huge feature. And I've counted that approximately for the using Sonnet 4.5, this window limit, this 5-hour window, is about, it led me to work with approximately 50,000 of tokens using Sonnet 4.5, which is relatively good, I think. So, and for the week, my weekly limit is about 250,000 tokens per week. So monthly, it's about 1 million tokens you could use for the development and the Claude usage for a $20 subscription. I think it's good. It's enough, or almost enough for my needs. I also have a GitHub Copilot, and together it's more than enough for my needs. If you want to understand more deeply this tokens, context windows, pricing, please write in the comments. I will create a different video with a comparison of how much tokens different models, different agent, different providers are given, and for what needs it's enough. I could compare Cursor, Codex, CLI, Claude Code, and how much the value of that money you will achieve for what need. I mean, it's enough. It's a lot of discussions over the internet about that, and a lot of confusion. These rules are changed like each. You see, it's become bigger. These rules are changed like each several weeks, I think. So what model do I use right now? It's a Sonnet. Okay. Okay, so what is saying? It's edit. It's finished several steps. First milestone is finished. So basically, DDOs and several layers are modernized. What it's telling me that it can do. I would say continue with implementation, where I basically could do just tell Spec Kit implementing. It would automatically know that it should continue. And while it's working, you can fully work with any Markdown file, change it how you want, change tasks, change future tasks, or just tell no. On this step right now, that is not correct. It will fix it for you. And once you're ready to move on with the plan, just tell it speckit.implement, and it will continue with tasks. What you will see here that there is this X, which means that this task is finished. So, and this is how it's moving by plan. So you see that phase 1 is finished with all of the tasks. It marked it as finished. It's moving further. So it's like, as you see, it's 6 phases, while 1.5 is already done. And we are moving. But the video would be too far and too long if I will capture all of that, all of the implementation part, and it will be far too much of specific project details, so I will not capture all of that. I think I will create a separate video, like a final one, where create a short summary and show the result of all of that. Currently, the most important stuff that we've understood the implementation part and how to work with that, which is, I guess, great. So, yep. In here, from this step, you are just continuous steering, checking each change, and you can do a regular action. Compile the code, run the app, check what's going on there. If it's not enough of understanding, you can also ask, hey, please make as much of logs as possible, so that if something goes wrong, you can just copy and paste the logs here, so it would understand on which step there is the problem. And I think this is going to be my flow for the next 3, 5, maybe 10 hours. And after that, I think everything should already work in my specific case. So, okay, I would encourage you to try on your own all of the steps, and to try on your own to implement a new feature in the existing app, or create a simple MVP using these principles, using the GitHub Spec Kit, and you will also learn this magic by doing, not just watching. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. See you next video.